Hi, welcome to NicheCraft. My name is Kassi and I'm your host, and I wanted to do a quick flip through this 200 crochet blocks for blankets, throws, and Afghans by Jan Eaton. So I want to tell you a little bit about the book first before I show you the pages that I have marked. I'm not going to flip through all of them. I'm just going to show you the ones that I particularly like. Every single square in this book are the same size, which I think is really, really brilliant. A lot of my other Granny Square books, and I have several, they don't necessarily have the same size, but every single one of these 200 crochet blocks is the same size. Also, this is written in UK terms, so if you follow US terms, you're going to need to know the equivalent US terms to UK terms. And the ones that are the big ones for me is that a single crochet in the US is called a double crochet in the UK terms, and a double crochet in the US is called a treble crochet in UK terms. So those are the two that are the most problematic for me personally. So that's just an example of some of the conversions that you'll have to make. That said, I'm going to go ahead and show you other features of the book. So at the very beginning, okay, well, I've skipped a couple of pages, okay. So at the very beginning we have this nice index here, our table of contents, and you see all the different crochet squares that are in the book. So that's nice that you have, you can visualize. It's a very visual book. You can visualize what you want to make, and then you can find that, okay? And then so these are all 200 squares, and it's funny because there's actually 212 squares, but some of these are, like for example, these last four, they're all the same square. In fact, I'll zoom in so you can see that. See, all four of those are the same colors. They're just different colors. So that's something. And then I just wanted to show you a couple of the first few pages, because she also has included different motifs, and she has recommendations of different ways for putting the different squares together, and I think that that's really helpful here. And with every single crochet square, she shows you what you can do with graph paper. And seriously guys, if you don't have graph paper and you like to crochet, you're going to need to get some graph paper, because it's really, really great for mapping out your different ideas and designs. It's something that I keep in my crochet books all the time. So again, as you can see, she really shows you different ways to make all sorts of different geometric shapes. Here she talks about the color wheel a little bit, and how colors go together, and how to take pictures from nature and make squares based on that. And then she has these different, larger illustrations, really, really elaborate illustrations of ways that you can put together a blanket with the squares that she includes, okay? So that said, I'm going to go ahead and start flipping to the specific pages that I want to show you, and these are just the ones that I personally like, okay? Like I said, there are 200 crochet blocks in this. I'm not going to flip through all of them. Just wanted to give you an idea of what you would get if you get this book. And also, of the ones that I like, please let me know if you want me to do a tutorial on any of them. I will already these are marked, so I will be doing a tutorial on them eventually. These are just the ones that I like the best in this book. So just remember that I am going to be doing tutorials on these eventually. I just, if you want one really soon and a whole bunch of people want it, then I will definitely be doing a tutorial on it. Okay, I'll move it up the list, okay? So, that said, as you can see, you are getting to preview more than just a few. I am going to just zoom in just a little bit so you can see. So I really like this Arcadia square. It's a pretty iconic one. A lot of books have it. I like the colors that she uses in that. And just so you know, she's got a mix and match suggestion on what you can mix up with this particular square, which I definitely appreciate. So that said, the next page that I marked here is this Italian cross. Now this is also a pretty iconic one. A lot of books include one like this. This is not the one, I've not seen this particular way of making it before. And also I just wanted to show you these bars and diamonds because this is another way of coming up with ideas for how to make an entire blanket out of some of these patterns, because I do like this pattern right here, and I think that it would make an excellent blanket. Just as the next square that I wanted to show you is this tricolor square. I really like the way that that looks. I think it's just really interesting. I like it. It looks interesting, and I like the colors that she picked for that. So the next page I wanted to show you was this one with the Dahlia square. I really, really like this with these puff stitches. It reminds me of a mallow flower, and mallow flowers are just kind of just basically really just puffy like that. And of course I like the colors that she put together with those, and her mix and match suggestions are right here. So the next one I wanted to show you is one that some of you guys who have been watching my channel for a while might think is kind of neat. Now I've shown you how to make the traditional granny square, and I've also shown you how to make the granny square where it is filled in. This one's a combination of the two, but in a way that I have not shown on this particular channel, and that is it's a traditional granny square in the middle right here, and then as you go out they fill in, and I think that that's a kind of a cool idea. So on this page I like both of these patterns. I like the idea of using these baubles as arrows, and you can basically have the arrows pointing in any direction. I like that if you were to join these together, they would all be pointing one way or the other, and I like that. But I also like this color work in this peach rose right here too, and I wanted to show that to you. You might notice that this particular square looks a lot like the Willow Square, and for those of you who are familiar with the Willow Square, this is a book that the Willow Square originally was printed in. Now I don't know if it was a original idea that Jan Eaton had, or if it was one of those squares that everybody knows that she just included, but if you want to know how to make the Willow Square, you can definitely find out by looking at this book, and I am going to do a tutorial on that pretty soon. So if you want to wait for me to do the tutorial, you should not be disappointed there either. Okay, so I also wanted to show you this Seville square right here. I think that that's nice how it's kind of both open and closed as a nice medium of the two. And I also wanted just to mention there is a crochet pattern called the Catherine wheel. Here she's taken that idea and she's made a square out of it, which I think is a really interesting way of doing that. So this page has two of them that I wanted to show you. This is the Sunray square, and here is a peony, and I really like how she used variegated yarn for that peony right there. And I mean, I like both of them very much. Okay, so the next one I wanted to show you was this Gothic square. Again, a really nice combination of open work and solids. I just really, really love that. So here's another filled in square here. That wasn't the one that I was meaning to show you though. I just wanted to show you this one. I really like the geometry of this. I like the idea that when you put multiple of these together, you would be making diamonds and squares. And for those of you who have seen my tutorial on the diamond and square granny square, or the combination of the solid granny and the traditional granny, you definitely see another way that you can make both diamonds and squares by making this crisscross pattern. All right, and so I only have one more square to show you, and of course that is the Willow Square. And the Willow Square is just a really gorgeous square. You can see it here in different colors. This is one of the most iconic granny squares outside of the traditional granny, at least in my experience. Now, I know that I can think of some others that are very iconic. For example, the sunflower one is a really iconic granny square as well, but this Willow Square is one that is very, very popular right now, and again, like I said, is definitely one that I will be doing a tutorial on. Now, I'm sure that you saw that there are a lot of different squares. This one uses bobble stitches to make a zigzag instead of an arrow, and I really like that idea. You know, there's a lot of squares in this particular book. And they also give you suggestions of squares that you can put together to create certain motifs and certain styles, and I think that that's really great. I'm just going to zoom out here a little bit so that you guys can see that they also have a really good stitch tutorial here. Again, it's going to be in UK terms, but it's still really nice when you have a stitch tutorial as well, because not everybody knows how to crochet when they get a crochet book, so that's nice. She also shows you different ways you can join the squares together, and I think these illustrations are great for explaining what she means by them. She also adds a little bit of edging ideas as well, and she shows how basically different millimeter hooks will create different sizes and all of that kind of stuff. She has an abbreviation and what they mean and everything. It's just really, really, really nice. And she also has the different kinds of yarn colors she uses even, which I think is great. So overall, I really like this book. I think it's great. It's got 200 crochet blocks for certain. You know, not all of them are made in a granny style, and that I mean from the middle out. Some of them are just squares that you make by crocheting back and forth across, but that's fine. She does have a few abstract ones, and she does have some that are themed based on different holidays, so that's another good thing to know about this book. I think this book is a really great purchase, a really great buy. But you do have to keep in mind that if you're used to US terms, you've got to translate it for UK terms. And that's about it. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed flipping through this book with me, and if you saw anything that you like, or if you're familiar with this book and you want me to do a tutorial on a certain square, I would definitely love to do that. And just know that that Willow Square is coming eventually. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching to the end of this video. Don't forget to find my giveaway. I have a really, really huge giveaway going on right now. It's full of amazing items, and you're definitely gonna want to enter. So find that giveaway, go ahead and enter by leaving a comment. Watch to the end so you know all of the terms and conditions. And I will see you soon with another video. Bye-bye for now.